I keep getting interrupted.
And yeah, like everybody's red hot on ReZero.
Yeah, ReZero Complete Season 1 collection. That's supposedly the fixed version.
Frankly this year, so it's kind of if you missed out on the series thus far and you kind of need a good excuse or a good chance to catch up. Admittedly, this isn't the director's cut, but you're not really missing anything there. So yeah, give it a watch because ReZero is it is a classic of the isekai genre already, and with very good reason. Like if you've been pushed away from all of that and feel like, oh no, it's all the same. Like ReZero is not. It's absolutely worth watching.
And finally, everybody, if you are a fan of Sword Art Online, but more specifically, perhaps
here we go, Sword Art Online Alicization.
Because the worlds of different video games and stuff, there are so many things I personally would love to know more about, and Gun Gale Online was a perfect example of that when that game, as it were, debuted in the second season of Sword Art Online. That spin-off show, Gun Gale Online,
it's actually Sword Art Online Gun Gale Online.
A couple of years ago at this point, and it was a complete side story. No Kirito, no Asa, none of the main cast and crew, but it was set in the Gun Gale universe. If you're looking for an alternative, quite literally, when it comes to Sword Art Online in anime form, Gun Gale Online is an awesome 12-episode complete spin-off show that is definitely worth checking out, and you're going to be able to get a complete Blu-ray set of that as part of our 12 Days of Christmas sales.
Yeah, it's a really fun little show. It's very apples to oranges compared to normal kind of Sword Art Online. And yeah, like I remember kind of when that came out, everybody was like, oh, do we really need a Sword Art Online spin-off? And then everybody got kind of hooked on it because it has really good characters. It does some really good, fun stuff with the Gun Gale Online world, and it's really refreshing, but just to see that world, but without the usual kind of Kirito, the usual cast in there. And it does a surprisingly good job. It's also created by the author of Kino's Journey, so if you need a recommendation, then that's a bonus point in its favour as well.
So that, everybody, is what you can expect your wallets to be fearing during our 12 Days of Christmas sales. But wait, there's more. Yes, there is more, because there is also lots and lots of deals on wealth of titles in our catalogue.
Here we go.
And there's a heck of a lot of titles, folks. Like, if you've been meaning to stock up on a heck of a lot of anime this year, or if you haven't done already, because Lord knows a lot of people have been, then this is the perfect time for you guys, because we've got loads of special offers across titles on pretty much a large majority of our catalogue. But Andy, because we're really, really lovely people here at All the Anime, that's not all that's going on, because we've got some extra things to tell them about, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because we love saving you money whilst also asking you to spend money. We've got a whole bunch of other kind of offers and deals that will be running across the 12 Days of Christmas. So, for starters, you would be very well advised to sign up to our email newsletter, which you can do from our shop website, and keep an eye on our social media channels. We'll post a sign-up link there
Discounts
as
across our
well.
catalog. Join our mailing list for 10% off your first Christmas sale order. Sign up to an annual ScreenAnime.com subscription for 15% off your first Christmas order and 10% off all other orders. Free international shipping on orders over £100.
Products that we just told you about, or perhaps a whole bunch of our catalogue stuff. And it would also be worth considering taking out an annual subscription to our Screen Anime streaming service. Because
they're all lovely people at ATA Citation.
You get 10% discount on all purchases on our shop, not just at Christmas, not just during the 12 days at any time of any order. But Screen Anime members during our 12 days of Christmas will also get 15% off their first order. So all the more reason to sign up there as well. So lots of good reasons to keep an eye on our channel, sign up to our newsletter, sign up to Screen Anime, and save yourself even more money. And alongside that, as a final note, before we move away from the sale and just leave you kind of counting the minutes until the 1st of December and the Christmas sale starts, if you are one of our international customers, you may have noticed, we've been releasing a lot of vinyl recently, for which we have the rights right across Europe and beyond. We know a lot of you want to pick up those products, like Attack on Titan on vinyl, Fully on vinyl, A Silent Voice, lots of really great soundtracks. If you're in the market for those kind of titles, and you are an international customer, for the Christmas sale period only, if you order over £100 in a single order, you will get free international shipping. So, you know, we know that it can be expensive to ship outside of the UK, and so obviously, you know, we understand that, especially during Christmas sale time. So if you're looking to place a big order, we will give you free shipping. So another thing to note when you're planning and budgeting for what you're going to pick up in our 12 days of Christmas sale.
Please be aware, the sale period is the 1st to the 12th of December 2020. So folks, that is your preview of our alltheanime.com 12 days of Christmas sales. It's going to be a doozy as per usual, so make sure you are at alltheanime.com at 5 PM UK on the 1st of December, as that is when the sale period will launch, and it will then conclude at 4:59 PM on the 12th of December. So Andy, we've gone through that. We've talked about how people's bank accounts and wallets should fare, which I feel like I've said a lot during this panel, but I'm just trying to emphasize the point. So, we've talked about that. We've talked about some other special offers that will be going on, but let's look further ahead now, Andy. Let's look forward to a year which apparently will exist, called 2021.
New announcement time. Here we go.
Because we want to talk about some new licenses.
Let's go.
That we, All the Anime, have acquired that you can expect to be arriving, all going well, during the calendar year of 2021. So Andy, we've got a mystery melting pot of things that we could talk about today.
Let's
if
go.
you don't mind, I want to pick the first one, if that's alright.
Yeah.
So, the first one that I'm going to pick out of the hat is a show by the name of Mawaru Penguin Drum.
Alright.
This series is by Kunihiko Ikuhara, who you may know better as being the director of Revolutionary Girl Utena and Yurikuma Arashi, to name but a few.
Alright, we're gonna have a good Penguin Drum Blu-ray from UK.
It gets incredibly dark in some places, but if you love random antics involving penguins,
this one's from Brains Base. Yeah,
it's
licensed America by Sentai.
But if you just love some crazy wackiness as well, in a plot that will really engage you, Penguin Drum is a show you need to check out. And we are delighted to say that after the original release from elsewhere having been out of print for a very long time now, this will be coming back to the UK. But perhaps more importantly, Andy, and this is the big thing to stress from my point of view, it will be coming to the UK for the first time on Blu-ray.
Oh. So Kazi didn't release
yeah,
on Blu-ray. They
very
done
glad,
DVD.
obviously, the previous release of Penguin Drum was DVD only, so we want to do it justice and give it a Blu-ray release. And, you know, we also know some other territories, their Blu-ray release, to be blunt, it wasn't full 1080p, so we are planning to go back and re-alter it.
Yeah, we're hoping Sentai does a new one for this.
Blu-ray full 1080p.
Or they could get rid of
release as well. So,
yeah,
it's really exciting. You know, we're big fans of Kunihiko Ikuhara here. If you tune in at the end of the day on Sunday, you'll be able to see himself and Saito-san, the author of Utena, talking for a whole hour about the history and kind of the production of Revolutionary Girl Utena, which is definitely not to be missed. So check that out. We're playing Matsuri tomorrow. But yeah, like after Utena, like Penguin Drum is a really great show. Like it's. And as you mentioned, it goes some places. Like it starts out with like, oh, this is the cute fun comedy with penguins, and it's like, oh, there's a child growing up. So yeah, it takes some turns, and it is a very Ikuhara work. Like it is definitely. If you've watched Utena and are kind of fascinated by it, you will be at least as fascinated if you're also by Penguin Drum. So if you've not watched it yet, then this will be.
I guess I'll just Wikipedia then.
Obviously planning to give it a good collector's edition release, so we'll see what we can put together in a package for you next year.
So, what is next in the melting pot of announcements that we have in this panel today for you? Andy, let me throw the ball to you, as it were. What do you want to pick out the hat?
Yeah, so it's so hard to choose when we have so many cool things to talk about, but I'm gonna take a leaf out of a lot of anime fan book and pick a series that I think a lot of people are really excited for. And I'm equally excited to say that in 2021 we will be bringing Ascendance of a Bookworm to the UK on Blu-ray. Hoping to give
Ascendance of a Bookworm, that's Crunchyroll.
We have to wait and see what we have available to us, and you know what we can put together as a package. But this is a really good. It's a isekai series, but it's also kind of not. Like it doesn't follow the usual kind of trope of, you know, transported to a fantasy world and then like, oh, I'm going to become the strongest and defeat the demon lord. It's more, I've been transported to a fantasy world because a part of books found me and killed me, but that's beside the point. And I'm just going to kind of get on with a pretty normal life, except I am obsessed with reading and I've somehow been reincarnated in a world that doesn't have any books, or at least they're not readily available, so I need to make this happen somehow. And it's kind of like, it's sort of like an isekai meets something like Spice and Wolf, where you have these kind of, you know, fantasy world trappings, but it also has this sort of almost kind of like historical element to it, this sort of medieval, like, oh, you know, this is how things worked back in the day. But then, you know, it sprinkles in a little bit of magic and so on and so forth. It's a really interesting series. It does some really fascinating stuff with its characters and its setting. It builds up quite nicely, and I know I know a lot of big fans of it, so it's really cool that we're going to be bringing it to the UK.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. We were doing our podcast earlier this year, which, by the way, folks, will return next year. Stay tuned for details on that. This was something we were talking about as it was airing, or that I finally had a chance to check out, and it really, really struck a chord with me. So I'm delighted that we'll be bringing this out here in the UK. So next up, Andy, let's I'm going to go with this one because I seem to be going on more of the older release trend when it comes to talking about things at the moment. So next up, folks, I'm just going to call it Black Lagoon. It's a show that people really freaking love. It's got a lot of action to it. It's a really, really fun watch. Gets bloody violent in places. But we are delighted to say that we're bringing Black Lagoon back to Blu-ray here in the UK. I'm delighted about this, Andy, because Black Lagoon is freaking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll again be trying to give this a really nice collector's edition treatment, seeing what we can do with it. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I think Black Lagoon is one of the best anime ever made. I realise that's probably contentious, or I always hear people screaming at their monitors and screaming in the chat already. But it's a really, really
must
good
be
series.
from NBC, Universal,
Everything that it tries, it pulls off and pulls off really well. And it's one of those shows where I think I must have watched it like maybe 3 times already, and I'm already jonesing to watch it again. And I think I can probably like watch it once a year and be just as enthralled by it every single time. It is so good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, like I always kind of hoped that maybe someday we'll get to work on it, and we are. So very, very excited. But, we'll be bringing this back to the UK in 2021, and hopefully doing something new.
So folks, stay tuned for details on what will be included in our release down the line. Andy, what are you going for next? What's next in the melting pot of beautiful anime goodness?
So so I'm going to pick another kind of really interesting and kind of fascinating little series that I really ended up enjoying a lot, and that is Inspector, which we'll be bringing to the UK.
Inspector.
That's
the Crunchyroll original. They got this from Crunchyroll.
So it seems, but actually it was not as it seems. And a girl who basically has the ability to kind of talk to demons and spirits. And
okay,
kind of
that would mean anime literally could be doing the.
It's almost like the X-Files, but not at all like the X-Files. Because there's a lot of
other
they basically end up kind of
Tower of
investigating
God,
kind of paranormal
stuff like
stuff going on, and it has this really interesting kind of relationship around kind of urban myths, and you know what is an urban myth? How does it come to pass, and like what effect does that actually have on reality and on these actual spirits and kind of so on and so forth that exist. And it's a really cool, really interesting show. It has some really nice visual touches. The main characters are kind of great, and it's a really enjoyable series that I'm very much looking forward to releasing next year.
It's going to be a great addition to our catalogue. And also just to do a little bit of a name check here, Andy, it's from Brainspace, the studio that bought people do Rara. So already in my book, when I first heard about the show, I was like, yeah, I'm in already. If it's got Brainspace involved, I'm more than likely in already.
Yeah, I think it's very much a return to form for them. It's a really good series that kind of fits their style, if you like, and it's a good style.
So our final announcement for today. Like I said, there'll be a couple other bits and bobs to talk about during our industry panel tomorrow evening at 8 PM, Sunday, 22nd November, Matsuri. But we do have one more thing to use the Apple thing here, Andy, we've got just one more thing I want to mention.
Alright.
So, Andy, your name.
It's Andy.
Andy, it's fair to say that the film Your Name, it did alright, it was popular, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I know one or two people who quite like
Your
it.
Name 4K?
Yeah, I guess we can call it quite popular.
Yeah, if you're one of the few people on the planet that haven't seen it at this point, then fair play to you, because next year you will be getting the opportunity to watch it in a way that people have been literally kind of just craving for quite a while now. It's another one of those projects and titles where we have had a lot of people asking for this, or perhaps more specifically, some people just asking us a heck of a lot if it is going to be possible. So, just going to call it like it is, Andy. Your Name 4K is coming.
Yeah, absolutely. As people will be aware, we brought Weapon Review to the UK in its 4K Blu-ray form. This year.
Funimation Fall Suit.
Precipitated a real outpouring of people who are hungry to see Your Name in 4K, and you know, it's something that we talked about kind of in various ways that anime limited for, I think, basically since Your Name came out. And you know, we've kept revisiting it, kept looking at it, like, can we do this? Can we make this happen? Is this the right time to release Your Name in 4K? And previously the answer was always no for one of a variety of reasons, but now kind of, you know, it's all ended up, it's all come together, it's all coalesced, and finally, yeah, Your Name in 4K. I mean, it's a stunning film. It's actually one of my favourite kind of viewing experiences in 4K, to be quite honest. It's a fantastic looking film, but really, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, stuff isn't animated in 4K, so it doesn't matter. But like, what is Your Name in 4K?
They already done Weathering with You 4K.
So, yeah, it's really fantastic that we're finally able to do
There
that
are
for
several
4K,
other
because
anime
definitely,
that came out in
even if you've watched
4K.
that film a million times
A couple of
before,
Lupin
this
movies,
will
couple
be
of
a
Gundam
really good
movies.
if you're meeting them first viewing.
Indeed, and folks, just going to say this from the outset, no further details at this time, but we wanted to at least tell you that today, because it is something, you know, a lot of you have wanted, and also, to be quite blunt, we're just really excited to share the news of that in itself with you. So Andy, from there, I think we're going to take a quick little break, and then we're going to come back, literally in probably a few moments, because we're going to do a little bit of a live Q&A. So if you've got any questions you want to throw our way before our panel time is up, use that hashtag on the likes of Twitter and such, Matsuri. And of course, if you are watching this directly on YouTube, start posting your questions in the comments. Please use the hashtag before your comment, ask for the anime, so that we know it is a question to be asked on the panel. Andy, anything else before we cut quickly to a quick break?
No, bring it on.
Break time!
Alright.
Welcome back to Cloud Matsuri, everybody. It's like we were just here, because we were, and now we are live.